I read something so insanely stupefying that I had to make sure that it was not a piece written by The Onion. And not because the reporting was bad or incorrect. It's just that the fact that the reporting unveiled something so ridiculous that it wouldn't be out of place as a piece in The Onion. Only this was reported by The Atlantic, sourced to multiple people inside Trump's orbit. And it just gives you a realistic look into the mind of the demented Donald Trump. And what this story shows is that Donald Trump has been telling confidants in private, which means it got reported, by the way, that he is the most powerful person to ever live. Not the most powerful person currently alive, not the most powerful president in American history. The most powerful person to ever live in the history of humanity, which includes presumably every emperor, every warlord, every pharaoh, every general who ever commanded a field, Jesus, Dr. Strange, Gandhi, Shaq, all of them. They are lesser to Donald Trump in his mind. And he no longer considers himself in the same category as George Washington or Abraham Lincoln. He's moved past that tier. He now sees himself alongside Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Napoleon Bonaparte, what the philosopher Hegel called heroes of an epic. World historical figures who upended civilizations through, quote, sheer force of will, even if their actions were also, quote, obnoxious to moral reprehension. Obnoxious to moral reprehension. That means they did terrible things, but it had a lasting impact on history. And that is the framing that Trump has apparently adopted for himself. I'm in the obnoxious to moral reprehension tier. One administration official, somebody in Trump's orbit, told The Atlantic that Trump is unburdened by political concerns and is able to do what is truly right rather than what is in his best political interest. Hence, the decision to strike Iran. Hence, the decision to strike Iran, the illegal war of Epstein distraction, the $25 billion war that Congress didn't authorize, that 61% of Americans say was a mistake. As in, what would you expect from a man of his historical stature? We cover AI all the time and the dangers of it, but we all know that AI is no longer optional. And the people who know how to use it ethically and effectively are pulling ahead in income, efficiency, and opportunity, and that gap keeps widening. That is why our sponsor Outskill is hosting its 2-day live AI Mastermind training this coming Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. And for the next 48 hours for you guys, it is free. Outskill is one of the first AI-focused education platforms, rated 4.9 out of 5 on Trustpilot. They've got more than 10 million professionals trained worldwide. And in their 16-hour live experience, you are going to learn exactly how to build AI agents that plan, write, and execute tasks for you, automating systems that run in the background and connect all of your tools like Sheets, Notion, your CRMs, and your email into streamlined, profitable systems ethically and effectively. You'll also learn how to actually monetize these skills. Instead of replacing jobs, you can earn more money. And some participants have launched AI-powered services generating thousands per week using what they learned from Outskill. If you attend both days, you unlock over $5,000 in bonuses, including their AI prompt Bible, their profit roadmap, their toolkit builder, and the 2026 AI Survival Hackbook. Look, Outskill, seats are limited. Grab your free spot using the link in our description. And after the alleged shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Trump mused, and I'm going to be very careful to quote this exactly, that the people that make the biggest impact are the ones that they go after. He went on to say, I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot.
And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there. The big names And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone.
To be clear, he wasn't joking about being targeted. He bragged. He expressed something adjacent to pride. And he has studied assassinations. He knows that only the truly great men get targeted, and he did a lot. Yet, his approval rating is still around 35%, a historic low, and sources say he doesn't care. They also say he's not even focused on the midterms. He's not focused on legislation. He is focused on one thing only: his legacy, on the structures that will bear his name, on things he can do that no one else could do. The ballroom, the arch, just like his pal Napoleon, to be built in Washington. But the comparison that has been thrown around in these reports the most is Alexander the Great. And you know, I'm going to be a little funny about this because I watched the Netflix documentary just recently about Alexander the Great. It's very good. It's also a lot like heated rivalry, if you catch my drift. And if you don't, it's really gay, like historically, documentarily, aggressively gay. Because Alexander the Great was, in the words of actual historians, a man of enormous appetites across many categories. And the Netflix production team, they didn't shy away from any of those categories. There's abs and longing and a level of eye contact between lovers that would make the Hallmark Channel uncomfortable. And given Trump's actions against the LGBTQ plus community, I find it funny that Donald Trump, a man who reportedly sleeps in a separate bedroom, eats well-done steak with ketchup, and whose idea of physical intimacy is a soggy handshake, has decided Alexander is his guy. This is the historical figure that he identifies with. Not Washington, not Lincoln, Alexander. And I can't help but think about all of that. And then I think about Donald Trump, lying awake at night on one of his Truth Social ragers, scrolling over to that Netflix documentary, and I picture him watching a really ripped Alexander and his Hephaestion, his lover. And I'm just picturing Donald Trump's reaction to seeing that. And I'm not going to make the joke. You're already making it. I see you making it. We're making it together as a community. I know you've got a smirk. But the point here is, and there is a point, the man who can't remember how many terms he's served, who believes he's the most powerful man in the world, in the history of human civilization, who slaps his name on everything, and yet is also simultaneously afraid of everything, including anybody different than him, is currently in charge of nuclear weapons and wants a $1.5 trillion military. And he has no sense of reality. And he also has no Hephaestion, as far as we know. By the way, if you like when I compare Donald Trump to Alexander the Great, do me a favor, leave me a comment. But I would also like to hear what you compare him to, because I think there are a lot more apt comparisons out there, and I think you guys are really, really creative. So I want to see what you guys say in the comments.